People often struggle with the idea of creating distance in relationships. To step back can feel cold, irresponsible, or like giving up. Because of that fear, many people remain in relationships that feel heavy, convincing themselves that enduring discomfort is the right thing to do. Even when breathing becomes shallow, they continue, telling themselves it is better to stay than to risk being misunderstood. But not all relationships require the same level of closeness. Nearness is not always healthy, and distance is not always a failure. Each person has a different point at which closeness becomes comfort or pressure. Applying a single standard to every relationship ignores these differences and often leaves one person feeling suffocated while the other feels at ease. Choosing distance is not an act of indifference. It is not a rejection or a decision to abandon someone. More often, it is a quiet way of protecting oneself. Stepping back from a space where breathing feels restricted creates room to see the relationship more clearly. Distance is not separation, it is a pause that restores awareness. When breathing becomes shallow within a relationship, clarity begins to fade. Thoughts lose focus, emotions become distorted, it becomes difficult to recognize personal limits. Maintaining closeness under those conditions slowly twists the relationship itself, leaving both people drained. When a small amount of distance is introduced, something changes. Breathing deepens, thoughts settle, emotional balance begins to return. Personal boundaries that had blurred within the relationship start to reappear. Distance is not coldness, it is a way to regain perception. Not every relationship needs to end. Not every connection must be cut in order to remain healthy. Sometimes, adjusting the way you relate is enough. Meeting less often, lowering expectations, sharing less of yourself. A relationship does not fail simply because it changes form. Many people carry an excessive sense of responsibility in relationships. They worry that stepping back will hurt the other person or make them seem unkind. But relationships that survive only through one person's constant self-reduction are already unbalanced. Healthy relationships do not require one side to disappear. A healthy relationship does not confine. It allows each person to breathe in their own space. Whether close or slightly apart, what matters is the ability to remain whole within the relationship. Distance is simply one way of protecting that wholeness. Distance is not fixed. What is necessary now may change with time. As life circumstances shift and emotional capacity evolves, the appropriate distance in a relationship may shift as well. The important question is not how close one should be, but what distance allows you to breathe today. Discomfort within a relationship is often dismissed. Because it lacks a clear explanation, it is easy to ignore. But discomfort is not a flaw, it is a signal meant to protect you. Honoring that signal allows for healthier choices. Choosing distance requires courage, especially when there is no anger or resentment involved. Yet it is not a selfish act. It can be an honest attempt to prevent the relationship from becoming distorted. Sometimes, choosing the right distance allows a relationship to last longer than forced closeness ever could. Relationships are not sustained by proximity alone. They endure where breathing is possible. Even without frequent contact, a relationship remains alive if peace returns when you meet again. And if constant closeness brings tension instead of ease, it is worth reconsidering that closeness. What matters most is not the structure of the relationship, but the state in which you exist within it, whether you are able to remain yourself or feel compelled to shrink. Distance is one possible answer to that question. It is not about leaving, but about preserving yourself. If the distance you choose allows your breathing to deepen, that choice deserves respect. Relationships do not need to consume you in order to be meaningful. Sometimes, breathing deeply alone is far healthier than breathing shallowly together. The distance, where you can remain yourself, is not abandonment, it is self-preservation.